If we're not at a Disney park, we're dreaming about being there, and a cup of Joffrey's Coffee Disney Blend helps. But what about when you're at a Disney park? The Joffrey's Disney Kiosk and Restaurant Locator will make sure you never miss out, whether it's a cool drink on a hot summer vacation or a great cup of coffee at a Disney signature restaurant. Joffrey's has you covered. Check it out at Joffreys.com.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
Please board quickly and safely. Our monorail will be departing momentarily. Thank you.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining us. I'm Tim Scott.
I'm Bob Collar.
This is ResortLoop.com. This is episode something
650
something 4. That's what I thought. That's what I thought the whole time.
That's what you said.
That's what I said.
That is
Exactly right.
You are all over it.
Like a rash.
Well, I wasn't going to say anything, but
don't scratch, I won't go away.
How are you today? This fine winter day in Northeast Ohio.
Well, we went from sun a couple days ago to nothing but rain, fog, more rain, cold.
It kind of goes with the theme of the show today.
It does, but there's no Mickey waffles involved.
Oh. So, real quick, I gotta say, my wife bought Mickey waffles at the store.
Uh-huh.
Not even close.
No.
Not even close.
No.
So.
Were they the Lego My Eggos?
I think so, yeah. Yeah. It's just a round of Eggo waffle with the Mickey face in the middle of it. That doesn't count.
It's a brilliant move because after you buy them, you're at home going, these are horrible. I just want to go down there and get their genuine thing.
I think they do. They do that on purpose.
So it's a brilliant reverse psychology marketing maneuver.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So Tim,
yes,
we're going to wrap up our there's so much to talk about with Disney cruises, but we don't have a whole lot of experience with the transatlantic and Panama Canal, although we have a good friend of the show that booked a Panama Canal cruise.
We do
with us. So how could somebody go about booking a cruise?
You just have to contact us over at ResortLoop.com, and we'll be happy to help you set up the trip of a lifetime.
Absolutely. You're handling all those cruises. Oh my gosh, we got a lot of cruises this year.
I love the cruises.
Crazy.
I love them.
I think everybody else does too.
If they don't, they will when they go on one.
Absolutely. Well, this is, we're continuing our little, series here, short little two-parter on, packing tips for your now Alaskan and Canadian cruise.
That's true. It's slightly different than packing for a warm weather destination.
Absolutely. This is what Disney says on their official website. The average summer temperature in Alaska can range from a high of 80 degrees Fahrenheit to an average low of 45 degrees Fahrenheit.
That's warmer than here. And
sadly, it is. The average temperature in Canada can range from a high of 80 degrees Fahrenheit to an average low of 62 degrees. Layering is recommended, so pack accordingly. The pools aboard the cruise ship will be open and are heated if the temperature falls below 75 degrees Fahrenheit. How nice is that?
That is actually so true. It was totally weird. And I mean weird. First of all, cruising outside of a tropical area when you're used to Disney park vacations in the middle of summer.
Right.
And having this big Disney, deluxe accommodation hotel ship around you while you're going through cold weather and snow and mountains. It's kind of surreal.
And you went, what time of year was that you had gone?
We went relatively early. I want to say it was probably May or June.
So you still got to see some icebergs in the fjords?
We did. We saw some Chevys. We saw some Dodges also. Not just the fjords. No, we did.
Wow.
We could see some.
Wow. That was a stretch even for you. That was a stretch.
You were the only one that wasn't keeping up. Everybody out there knew what I was doing.
I was like, what is he? Why? Anyway.
No, you will see a little, hopefully little icebergs, just kind of floating there in the water, especially as you're going up some of the, like you said, the fjords and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Water will be so clear. It's beautiful.
I think there's always snow on the mountaintops because of where you're at in relation to the latitudes of the Earth. I know some things. Latitude.
You're dropping some scientific terms. I'm liking this.
You like that, don't you?
You know I do.
So here's what Disney says you should bring. Their suggested list of things to pack, and I'm going to run these by you.
Okay.
And you tell me if a yay or nay.
Okay.
Winter wear: gloves, hat, coat, boots, sweatshirts, etc.
I will say you'll probably want a hat. It's going to depend on what kind of excursions you're going to do. If you're just going to get off and walk around the town,
yeah,
you might not need the full boots complement. Maybe not the gloves, depending on when you're going. If you're going to like the fringe seasons, maybe the very beginning or the very end of the cruise season, it's going to be a little colder than in the heart of the summer.
Okay.
I'll let you keep going because a couple of things are further down on the list. So.
Okay. Now, and of course, Disney, nobody's cruising in the wintertime. Those aren't ice cutters.
No.
So you're not going to book an Alaskan cruise in the winter who was the one that went to the North Pole? I don't know. The great explorer.
Mr. Pole? I'm not sure.
Sure. Santa Claus. That's who it was.
That's why he flies up and back with his reindeer.
Right. How about this? Waterproof and windproof coat.
I will vouch for the trip, I bought, what was it called? Like a 3 seasons coat. It's not really a full parka.
Okay.
But you can wear it in the spring and the summer by our friends at Eddie Bauer. And it's actually waterproof. And I will say, we were lucky in our trip because we could hardly hit any rain. But even on the ship, the crew was saying, this is the one cruise where we've not had a whole lot of rain. Every other cruise, they said there was a lot of rain. And if your coat's waterproof, the water will just roll right off. You don't have to worry about it drying off every night if it gets wet or, being out on some big excursion and you're soaked halfway through the coat. So the waterproof coat, great idea.
Now, what about, let me throw this at you. What about one of those waterproof coats that has the zip-out liner? So that, you got a layer. So on the colder days, you zip the liner back in, and on the warmer days, you zip the liner out.
I've never had that, but that sounds great. Yeah, I think waterproof is the key, and if you can layer it on the same item, that'd probably be great.
Okay. For all the rain, do you need sunglasses?
I don't wear a lot of sunglasses. I probably should.
Those baby blue eyes of yours, come on, man.
Oh, yeah.
You don't want to damage those.
No, you don't. But, if it's going to be gray and raining, you're probably not going to need sunglasses. I don't recall needing sunglasses necessarily.
Okay. Not on that snow. If you go on a glacier, maybe depending again on your adventure.
I'll say maybe if you were like going on a glacier, there was sun, or maybe you're going whale watching out there on the water and it's sunny. You might wish you had some sunglasses. But I honestly don't wear a lot of sunglasses myself personally. So.
Okay. All right. Pants or jeans?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's not, we just said, it can get as cold as 45 degrees. If you're one of these teenage kids that I see wearing shorts.
Year round,
stop it.
1, you're not NBA players. 2, it's
you're
cold outside. Exactly. 3, just do what your mom and dad say and put some pants on.
Put some pants
And number
on.
4, use a belt and cinch them around your waist. Don't let them dangle in the back.
These are not pants optional, Alaskan cruises. You gotta have pants, not just shorts.
Exactly.
All right. Sturdy footwear, boots or rubber sole shoes.
Again, great idea. If you're up there walking on a glacier, maybe you're going to go see some, sled dogs, something like that.
Yeah.
You might want some boots for that.
All right. Umbrella or poncho? You just said it rains a lot.
I just said it rains. You want to be ready. Be prepared.
I like the poncho idea. It's easy. You fold those suckers up. You can really make them small.
I loved him on Chips. He was hilarious.
It's going to be one of those shows, is it?
It is. I caffeinated with our good friend Joffrey's right before the show.
Thank goodness. Binoculars.
Absolutely. I will say I did not take binoculars. I took our good camera with the nice zoom lens on it. So, but if you have binoculars, take them.
I got to say this, and this is probably one of those that you're going to want to take if you're doing the Panama Canal cruise as well, because you're in some tight spots on these Alaskan cruises, right?
Yes. You're on some
going up. What was the name of that fjord you went up?
Oh, like Tracy's Arm.
Tracy's Arm.
Or any of those where you're going up to see the glaciers. It's kind of narrow, and you got mountains on either side of you, and you got some fog, and you can see some animals on the side. We saw a lot of eagles. It was just incredible.
Yeah. So binoculars would be great. Now, on a Caribbean cruise, you it's mostly out on the water, and the island, you're not going to see a whole lot because it's an island. But I would think that binoculars definitely would be worth taking on one of these.
I think they even sold them in the ports there, because a lot of people, I think, were wishing, we should have brought some binoculars. I'm not sure they were a great deal necessarily in the ports, from what I recall.
What?
I know. Shocking.
They're not going to gouge you.
No, why would they do that?
Yeah, no, they wouldn't do that. And, of course, the dinner attire, we touched on that on the last show. Make sure that you're wearing the proper attire for your dining. And check the theme nights, depending on which theme they have going on.
Yes, I will say in the Alaska cruises, on the Disney cruises, on Pirate Night, they do not have fireworks shows because of all the wildlife around.
Really?
Really. So just, be aware, if you're going on an Alaskan cruise, at least when we did it, they were not allowing, it was a law, you could not do fireworks.
It does say that. There are no fireworks on Alaskan sailings.
Yep, they did the full show. They did everything they normally do on Pirate Night. They just did not have the fireworks show.
And you know how they do that, the pirate party? They don't do that. They do a Pixar Pals party that takes place in the ship's atrium. Probably because it's so cold, the deck might get a little icy, a little slippery.
It could.
Maybe.
Absolutely.
I'm just saying.
And I will say, if you're doing the Alaskan cruise, but you're not really planning on doing any really hardcore excursions, like we did the White Pass Rail, which was fantastic. That's pretty much inside. That's all inside. You got a quick, it was a van ride, I believe, but it was like you could have walked there in the amount of time it took you to get on the bus and then get off the bus or the van. And then, then you take the bus back. So you really didn't need any heavy duty wear for that because you're, mostly inside.
Right.
And also if you're on the ship and you're like just kind of cruising along, you don't happen to, bring a parka if you think you need one. There are blankets there you can use.
Really?
Like the cast members on the ship, they'll, walk around. For us, they offered to bring us hot chocolate. They asked if we needed some blankets. They brought some blankets. So we all just snuggled in there at our table, watching Alaska go by. It was fantastic.
That's very nice.
Yes.
Very nice. Let me run these by you. These are some of the adventures that you can take. Like, you were saying about the dress depending upon the adventure you're going to do once you get into port. Alpine zip line adventure.
Oh, I wouldn't do that.
Well, you need an extra pair of underwear for that.
At least one.
5 glacier seaplane exploration.
Oh, I wouldn't do that either.
Oh, that'd be so cool. Advanced kayak adventure.
Oh, that just screams I'm getting wet.
In cold Alaskan waters.
Right.
Adventure cart expeditions. So it's like one of those go-kart kind of things.
Oh, that'd be fun.
This has our name written all over it. An afternoon tea.
Oh.
At Bookcart Gardens. That'll do that. Ooh, how about an Alaska bear adventure?
Oh. That's
in a seaplane as well.
Okay, so I'm not going to watch a bunch of bears perform on stage, because I would never do that anywhere.
No. What kind of bears perform on stage?
I know. Please. Where have I even heard of that?
You out in the country for that?
I love that, by the way. That's fantastic.
Alaska Nature and Wildlife Expedition. If you've never seen a bald eagle, that's going to be the one to go to.
Nice.
Alaska Salmon Bake, Glacier and Hatchery. So you're going to have a nice salmon dinner
That sounds good.
I like that one.
Yes.
Of course, the whale watching, they've got that. Did you do the steam train? Is that the one you did?
The White Pass Rail, yes.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah, you can alpine snowshoe in conjunction with the White Pass Rail. Would you do that?
I wouldn't even need the snowshoes. I just use my regular shoes. I'm good to go. I could rent them out there. I'll just sit at a bench.
That's why I bring tennis rackets. I just break off the end, and now I got my own snowshoes.
Right.
Yeah, some Best of Skagway.
Oh, Skagway was fun.
Was it?
It was fun. There's lots of little things there to see.
Now this one's got your name written all over it. The Chilkoot Horseback Adventure. You're a big equestrian. You like riding horses and going up into the mountains.
How'd you know that about me?
You just scream, I want to ride a horse.
Like Equus.
This is more,
Don't picture that.
This was more like us. City highlights. You get to go, sightseeing around the city. Creek Street by trolley.
Okay.
That's the way you go. So, Craig Darouche Castle, whatever that is. So an incredible amount of different adventures. They've got over 210 port adventures just in Alaska alone. That sounds like that'd be a lot of fun.
That sounds fantastic.
What was the favorite adventure for you?
I really enjoyed the whale watching we did.
Yeah.
Cause we did see a whale actually calf, where they come out of the water and splash down.
Breach. They call that breach?
Oh, I'm thinking of the, you're right, breaching the water. I was thinking of the, glaciers falling as being called calving. We didn't see that, but that would have been a lot of fun too.
Ooh, that would have been cool.
I'll say one of my favorite things we did is we just got at Ketchikan. We just got off the ship. We did a little walk-in. We found a place that was called Annabelle's.
Oh.
It was just a little like restaurant / bar type place. And we ordered crab legs.
Ooh, I bet they were good.
They were fantastic. They were huge. They were fresh. Wonderful. So that'd be another tip. If you get off a ship at one of the Alaskan ports, find some place that might serve crab legs.
Alaskan king crab legs?
Yes, the actual.
They were the big ones, the really big ones?
They were big ones. They were like deadliest catch size crab. They were fantastic.
I was just going to say, hey, that would be a great port adventure.
They had one of those when we cruised years ago.
Get out of here.
Where you could cruise one of the crab vessels. I don't remember where that one was offhand. That might have been Ketchikan. It wasn't one of the popular ships, but I do remember it being on there, but it wasn't like one of the big 3 or 4 ships.
Really?
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
Yes.
I would love to do that. Love to do that. They're just beautiful. The Alaskan cruises, I mean, just so unique, going up through those fjords. I can only imagine that the cruises that go through the Norwegian fjords are the only thing you could compare them to.
Yes.
And that's something else I would absolutely like to do. Speaking of which, Tim,
okay,
one of the things that Disney cautions people on, and again, this is something that you have to be aware of where you're going and what you're doing, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, at all times.
If you're going to do like one of those Mediterranean cruises, or you're going to do one of those cruises that take you overseas. This is on the other side of the planet for us anyway. Make sure you have clothing that is going to fit and be okay in some of the places you're going. For example, if you're going to Rome, let's say, and you're going to go to the Vatican and all of that, you have to dress appropriately for that. Especially the ladies in some of these foreign countries where women are required to be a little more conservative in their dress.
Yes,
keep that in mind.
Yes. For the local standards, yes.
Right. Make sure that you're paying attention to that. as well. Here's the getting back to the Alaskan cruise, though. Question for you.
Mhm.
Disney says, this is what Disney's saying for what they recommend. Passport. Do you need a passport going on an Alaskan cruise?
I always recommend having a passport just because you never know. But you do need it because, at least on the White Pass Rail, we got off the ship, we were in Alaska, we rode the White Pass, which actually ended in Canada.
Oh.
And then from Canada, I think they believe they checked it there, and then you take the bus back down from there, back down to the port. So you're actually in Canada for a good part of the White Pass Rail tour.
And do you board in Canada?
To start the cruise.
Board? What's that?
You mean to start the cruise?
Yeah.
Actually, they believe they all start in Vancouver, which is where we started.
Yeah, that's Canada.
So that's Canada. So there's two ways to get there. One, you can fly straight to the Vancouver airport, or you could fly into Seattle, and there's a train you can take up to Vancouver.
Oh.
A lot of people do that because you get the view of the train, and you don't have to pay international airfare.
I love that.
Because I will say when we went, we flew with our schedule, we had to fly right to Vancouver, and we had to pay for the international flight, which was much more expensive than if we had flown into Seattle.
Okay.
So just a little tip of the day.
I love the idea of that train. That would be awesome. Give yourself a little extra adventure.
Absolutely.
Out there.
Absolutely.
Well, if folks want to do this, Tim, right now is the best time to get in contact with us at the Resort Loop Travel Group. You can save 20% on select Alaskan cruises this summer.
Hey, anytime you can save money on a vacation you want to go on anyway,
absolutely.
Snap that up.
So there you go. That's just some of the things that anything that you personally remember on your Alaskan cruise that you said, man, I wish I would have brought whatever it was.
There's nothing I remember I would have brought, but here's a little travel tip that we found for Alaska. Not everybody, a lot of people say if you're going to cruise Alaska, you have to splurge for the veranda.
Oh, yes.
I will say nay.
Yes.
Just get the porthole view room. Because we found it was just chill enough that I wouldn't have been comfortable out there for any length of time.
Right.
Anytime I wanted to spend outside watching nature go by, we would just go up to the pool deck. So we saved quite a bit of money on our cruise, not by opting for the veranda.
I love that idea because you're exactly right. I mean, why would you want to on those cold, rainy days? That veranda is really not being used. Right. It's not being utilized.
Right. And if you want to watch it go by, I mean, it's still, get that porthole. If you have the large porthole, you still got, you sit right there, watch plenty of stuff go by.
There you go. So excellent.
That's my Alaskan cruise trip.
Do you need, I mean, it's summertime. You're not going to need like snow pants or any of that, right?
Nah, you'll be fine. Yeah. I mean, let's face it. You're on the boat most of the time.
Yeah. Yeah. And if, like you said, if you're doing some of these excursions, I'm sure they have proper, things to keep you warm if need be.
Right.
But, yeah, very good. Very good. All right. Well, there you go. Some of the packing tips for your Disney cruise, whether it's the Caribbean or Alaska, and even some of the ones that go overseas into Europe, the Mediterranean, maybe Spain and things like that. So just be aware of what the local customs are, and always pay attention to the weather because you don't want your trip ruined because you didn't pack properly.
The 10-day forecast is your friend.
There you go. Absolutely. So, Tim.
Yes, Bob.
That is all I've got.
Awesome. Everybody, thanks for joining us. I'm Tim Scott. Facebook, Twitter. You can try looking me over at the Instagram, as some people would say. If you're thinking of booking one of these wonderful Disney cruise vacations, ResortLoop.com.
And don't forget to rate us over there on iTunes. That really helps us get the word out about the show. And what else should folks do, Tim?
Please go out there and share and tell a friend about the gateway to the magic.
See you, everybody.
Vacation memories will stay with you and your family for a lifetime. The Resort Loop Travel Group was created with this in mind. Our fee-free services will relieve you of the stress and confusion of finding and booking the best vacation at the best price. After booking, we will continue to monitor for ways to save you even more on your vacation. We will check for any upcoming packages and discounts to save you as many vacation dollars as possible. Resort Loop Travel Group, gateway to your magical vacation memories. Get a quote, or for more information, visit ResortLoopTravelGroup.com.